What up, what up, what up? What's going on, everyone? What? Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. What's going on, y'all? I'm feeling good. How you feeling?
Interesting.
You feeling interesting?
Interesting.
Okay. What's going on, everyone? So we got a lot to get into. If you are new to the podcast, how are you doing? I'm Shadell, host, or co-host, I should say, of Paging the Simpsons podcast, joined by my lovely fiance.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And if you are an existing listener, what up? How you doing? Another Tuesday. So
would you like me to get into it?
We're gonna get straight into it.
I'm ready to get into it.
Get right into it, because this is more so your thing. I'm kind of just like looking at it from like a casual viewer, I guess you could say. Go ahead, take it away.
So I would like to invite you all today to the funeral of James Charles and the resurrection of Tati Westbrook.
Bless up.
So, wow.
Wait. So real quick, for the people that don't know this, because just like everyone else, I'm not part of this like makeup.
I'm getting into it. I'm explaining. First of all, if you don't know, at least if you have never heard of James Charles, you're kind of living under a rock. Because 16 million subscribers, followers everywhere.
Well, even if you're not insane. Following him, you've seen him with like Iggy, like
Cover Girl, like the whole. He was the first cover boy a few years ago, and he kind of started to blow up after that. He did Iggy's makeup in her latest music video. He's become a thing. He was at the Met Gala most recently, and he just kind of became the biggest beauty influencer on the platform right now.
Yep.
And then Tati, I understand if you kind of don't know who she is as much. She was more under the radar. She had about like 5 million subscribers. So it's kind of crazy to say, because I remember when I was on YouTube like 8-9 years ago, like hundreds of thousands of subscribers were a lot. And now saying like only 5 million kind of sounds crazy. But she's still a massive influencer. She would kill it for like the 7 or 8 years that she was on, did 5 videos every single week and didn't miss a beat. Like she, like Monday through Friday every single week. And now she took it back a few months ago and just does 3 a week, which is still insane. So she's a massive content creator, and she's always been more of a down to earth, more relatable kind of person. She's also a little older. She's 39, I believe. I know she's in her late 30s. Versus James Charles is 19. I don't know if he's 20 yet. I know I've heard he's 19 for a while, so we'll go with that. So two completely different kind of people, honestly. So it's kind of an interesting matchup. But what ended up happening is, so the beauty community on YouTube is as drama-filled as you would expect it to be.
It's like a high school if it was filled with a bunch of like
and quite honestly, it's kind of in real life, coming from like a real life makeup artist perspective. There could be definitely drama in beauty fields, whether it's you work in retail or you work in bridal or TV or whatever. There could be cliques and there could be drama and stuff. But with YouTube, there's like this whole other, realm of it. It gets so much more dramatic and crazy because you have these influencers who have so much influence because they're so huge and popular, and they have so much money and so much attention that they can really manipulate a lot of people in a lot of situations, whether it's other YouTubers, fans, whatever, companies, all that.
Yeah.
So, we'll backtrack it a little bit. Last year we had what in the beauty community we called Dramageddon, which just basically meant that a few massive influencers kind of went through this whole thing and it all exploded. Namely Jeffree Star, Manny MUA, Laura Lee, Nikita Dragon, and I'm forgetting his name right now, the one that was in this James Charles mess now too. Gabriel Zamora. Okay. So they all, he's like, okay. So they all went through like a whole thing. It had to do with racist comments and things being dug up from the past. And it was this whole thing. And as a result of it, a lot of them lost a lot of subscribers and they kind of never really gained them back. They had to take time away. They did these whole My Truth videos and like it was a thing. And that was that. And then through it all, you have other big influencers. You have like Jaclyn Hill, Jeffree Star, Tati, James Charles, a few others who are massive, who kind of avoided all that. And, you know, they would do different collabs. Like, it was very interesting because a couple weeks ago, drama channels were speculating that Jeffree Star and James Charles were no longer friends. They had been on each other's channel. I don't know if it's each other's. I think it was both. And they did videos together, and they seemed like the perfect buddy kind of system. James, even in the Shane Dawson series last year, you saw James was in a clip of it when he was at Jeffree's house. There was like this little viral clip. There was this little viral like clip where James, Jeffree, and Shane do like woo, like with their fingers in a little thing, and like people like make a gif out of it. But and so they were buddy, and Jeffree and Tati are buddy. James and Tati are buddy, and yeah, it's like this whole little
like clique,
threesome clique of we're each other's friends, but then all together we're still friends. Like it's this thing. So, yeah, it was a couple weeks ago speculated that Jeffree and James were no longer friends, but nothing was confirmed. Yep. And Jeffree is still... I don't know what to think about Jeffree, to be honest, because it's very interesting how a lot of the drama includes him, but misses him. Like, it's very odd how, like, he knows a lot. He is very much one of those people that you get close to him, he has a lot on you, and if you mess up, you're dead. So he had alluded on Twitter, he had these tweets like a few days ago, kind of alluding to something was going to happen, and that if you thought 2018 was crazy, just wait for what's about to happen in 2019. He was kind of leading on to something. Now let's go to, hopefully I gave a good enough background for people who have no idea what's going on. It's a lot.
They probably don't know these names.
It's a lot. The next thing. I'm sorry. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in if this is not your world. But
yeah, and I'm like loosely following it just based on what you see. So
and you're around, so you kind of see. Yeah. So now fast forward to this past Friday. And if anybody knows James Charles, he has different taglines and like phrases and stuff. One of them is sisters. He like came up with a couple years ago, and he started, you know how like everyone on YouTube calls their viewers something, like it's a part of a club. Okay, so people were sisters. Okay, so Tati then uploads a video that says bye sister, and everybody freaked out. It's a 43-minute video addressing James Charles.
People were there for the tea.
So to give a little background on this, because the last 2-3 weeks, what you missed, so what you don't understand why this led up to this. James, well, a couple things. James was at Coachella, and he had alluded to the fact that Coachella was being unsafe, and he had to get some wristband, and Sugar Bear Hair was going to give him a wristband and like make it so he was safe, and that's why in turn he ended up doing the ad for Sugar Bear Hair on his Instagram. However, Sugar Bear Hair is a direct competitor to Tati's company, Halo Beauty, which is a hair vitamin company as well. So and he had never strongly advocated for, endorsed Halo Beauty to begin with. So now he's making up this saga, and it's funny because these tea channels, if you're missing things from our podcast, because I can't go through every single detail, go check out like Here for the Tea and like different people on YouTube who like have it on lock. But essentially what they found was a receipt of the wristband that he had on, because he had it in like the video, and it showed it was the same wristband as someone else's. It wasn't a VIP. It wasn't an artist pass. It was a VIP pass. And so there was some slip up here. Go check it out for more details. But it basically showed how he was being phony. And so he did the ad. And so that was the start of that, because then the next day Tati goes on Instagram stories and she's crying and she's like, I don't really do this. I'm just so like overwhelmed and I can't believe like just, you know, kind of alluding stuff that happened with him. You know, I believe it's one of those things that people were making fun of her, like Gabriel Zamora then butts his butt in and is all like really over like hair vitamins. You need to get a life. Like you need to like check your priorities. It's not that big a deal. I believe that this was more of the breaking point for her because it's not just about the freaking hair vitamins.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people always look at it as surface level. It was not just about that. So I really think that was what kind of was it for her. She's done. Because then also in the last few weeks, you saw how James was like all up in arms about another straight boy that he tried to convert, which we'll get into. He tends to do that. And that was another thing that she was super against. And that was some drama that happened the last few weeks. So he started digging his grave the last few weeks. And then this happened. So she puts up the video. And I watched it. I finally got you to watch it yesterday. Because I'm like, listen, you're going to like it. Because he likes, you know, people like her. She's very like composed. But she's like got her facts. And she's just, you know, straight about it. Mm-hmm. And she hit the nail on the head on everything. And, you know, even you've said he like people who can't see it though, like he really exudes everything she was saying without her even having to say it.
Well, that's the thing. So from me being the outside person, I'm not a fan of his. I'm just a casual freaking viewer, and I watch, you know, if you're familiar to the YouTube scene, you probably watch Philip DeFranco, and I watched this video, and he was talking about the whole ticket thing where people are having issues with this ticket pricing, and in my head, I'm like, it is what it is, but when you sit back and think about it, for your ticket prices to be really high, and for you to know that your like fans are like, you know, little teenagers that can't afford this, it's like, what, like, you kind of, like, I'm always someone that likes to see how people operate, and like knowing that, I'm like, okay, I know they'll be able to do this or they'll do that or whatever, you know, and like that's a big sign. Like for example, like a new artist wouldn't go to like we have a place here, Toad's Place here. It's like a small little venue. Like they're not gonna go to the small venue and start charging people $100 a ticket to get in when normally it's like $25, and you're nobody. Like if that makes any sense. Like he didn't know his audience.
And here's the thing is, he has a huge ego and he's a narcissist. And that's literally just what it is. And Tati didn't say it like that, but like...
That's the vibe you got.
That's it. That's all. Well, she did say he had a big ego. She was very flat out about it. Like I was so proud of her in that video, because even in the beginning, she's like, you know, I'm making this video to say that... And she calls him out by name a million times. She always says James Charles, the whole name, so you can't confuse anything. Yep. So she's strategic, but... She in the beginning of the video, she's like, we are not friends anymore. I do not want anything to do with you anymore. Like she like is going in, and like there's points, you know, it just confirmed everything that was already out in the air that you were hearing, but then he would try and make it go to rest, and then it was a thing. So basically, he has a big ego. He climbs the ladders, uses people to get somewhere. Mm-hmm. He pretends that you're more important to him than you actually are. He's a sexual predator, which is great because he literally like jokes about trying to turn straight men gay and trying to joke how every man is a little gay.
Let's dig into that a little bit more. So, like, joking is one thing. Because it's like... He
made a joke of himself, but he really does it. But
let me dig into this a bit more. So certain people like Young M.A. will make a joke because she's lesbian, and she like certain people like that are gay or lesbian, like they make these jokes that like I wonder if he's gay or if I can turn him out, whatever. And it's like they may not take it like I don't think some people take it that seriously. Yeah, they may have tried like once or twice, but like I feel like James Charles does this like it's not a joke at this point. It's like this is what he does. Like it's not a joke. This is what I do.
It's not, because here's what he ended up doing, and I would see it on Twitter playing out like way before this was a video. How he'll joke about it and he'll be like, oh, I just love straight men, haha. But then he'll also go on his like depressing rampage on Twitter and be like, you know, I'm so tired of like putting myself out there, and like I really fall for these boys, and then they end up manipulating me and being straight and like all this different stuff.
What?
And I'm like, you're literally digging your own hole, and you're again, narcissist. He's the one who's doing this stuff to people, but he's trying to make it seem like other people are doing it to him.
His audience,
he's always, like she said in the video, he plays the victim.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, every situation, he's the victim.
That's normally what a narcissist does. It's like, yo,
awful.
I'm the one
it's
that's
awful.
hurt.
And to be associated with a person like that is awful.
And
so I can understand how it took her years, and it took her years of trying different methods and trying to be there for him and authentically love him and like and coach him and like all this different stuff, and trying to be like, maybe he'll grow out of this. I can understand how it took years, but she now finally is at that point where she's done.
And
like, come on, you can't do that to people.
I'm coming from the casual person here that's just peeking my head into the freaking room like, hey. And watching her video, like, yeah, she was like a real like parental figure. Like her husband like helped James a lot. Like, yo,
her husband's name is also James.
This James was pretty much like adopted by her and her husband. Like, damn, like they took him under his wing. Like anything he needed, any advice, anything.
She met
like,
him when
everything.
he was 17.
Like, you know how many people would love to have that like. That environment, that knowledge, like everything.
And she never took money from him. She
gave him money.
She helped him make millions upon millions
by
getting a better contract deal with Morphe and everything. Because she would say how her and James, her husband, have like tons of experience with contracts, business, everything. And so they would make sure he was safe in whatever he was signing and getting the best deals. And at her own event, she's talking about how he's paving the way. And she's so proud of him and getting all choked up. And, you know, multiple times during the video, she gets very choked up because this is a person she authentically loved and cherished and thought was going to be this amazing person, and that, you know, you're pouring so much love into this person, you hope that it's reciprocated. And it's a whole thing. Like wow. Like, and I just can't see how people are making her out to be the bad guy, because, you know, there's a few people out there who do that. There's a person I saw on Twitter who's talking about, oh, this chick that's like crying over this 19-year-old and all this stuff. What? And I'm like, you know nothing about this situation. And you also, even if you know nothing, like you can take that video, you can listen to what she's saying and relate to her as a person. Well, because if someone did all this to you, okay. Yeah. And then even like she talks about how, like with the stuff with the boys and all this disgusting stuff, like she's trying to steer him down the right path. She's trying to be like, don't do that. That's not a good idea. Like, you need to calm down. You need to try this instead. She's trying to be there.
That parent figure.
Yes. Be a mentor. And when someone just doesn't listen or doesn't care to help themselves, there comes a point when you can't help them anymore either.
Clearly, from what she's telling us, he doesn't care. And it's like, I showed you the clip before we started recording here earlier of like, with the whole straight guy thing where he was doing, I'm not sure if it was a video on his channel or on Shane's channel or whatever the case was, where they were doing like makeup on each other. Mm-hmm. And like, Shane and Rylan, I think his name is. Fiance. They're sitting there and they're like, you should really stop like trying to turn straight guys gay. Like, it's not gonna work out for you. It's not working out for me. Like what? Like,
oh, and he said to one guy, was it to Ryland or was it the other one you showed me, where he said, well, that's not a challenge. If he goes for someone who is his sexual orientation.
I'm like, what?
I'm like,
you sound like a rapist.
That's not cool.
Like, you're one step away from being like, yo, take off your clothes. Like, what?
Well, and that's the thing is he ends up like making out with these guys and like really trying for a few months, and they, it sounds like what he does is he goes after people who are experimenting, who want to see if they like guys.
Sounds nasty.
And he's trying to like swerve them that way hardcore. And so the guy is then confused for a few months, and then if he ends up being like, you know what, I tried it and I'm really just not about it, then he plays the victim card. And it's very sad, and people shouldn't have to go through that.
Reminds me of like
because it's just like Tati said,
man.
Your sexual orientation is all on you, and you're doing your timing. Everything is about you. Like, no one should be pushing any of that on you.
Yeah. And it's just so disgusting, because I'm saying that, I'm like, this is like what a guy would do to another girl, where it's just like he's like trying to push her to have sex with him. I'm like,
it's just everything, how he uses people to climb on YouTube, and it's a whole mess of things. And it is, the hair stuff, how he would never really endorse her. He shouted her out like maybe once, but when she first started, but and would pretend like he hated sugar bear hair, but then you're accepting money. He's trying to say, I'm not accepting money, when it's a hashtag ad, and that means like it's a whole mess. And there are a couple things on Twitter that, before I forget, so Marlena Stell is, I'm throwing in another name. I know I'm getting you guys confused. She's the owner of Makeup Geek, which is a makeup brand that now you can find in some Targets. So you may actually know about her. She's one of the OGs from back in the day, like when I started, but never blew up. So she paved the way for, creating a cosmetic brand, for being a YouTuber, like all this kind of stuff. And she said, she had quoted someone else's tweet, and she said, "This is why all the OGs are upset. We didn't bust our asses creating content for just the love of it, for the next generation to come in with egos and dishonesty and make the beauty community a shit show. I felt this tweet on such a deep level." Another thing with her, I gotta find it real quick because a lot's been happening.
Screenshot this.
Another thing, because she ended up making her truth video last year with the original Dramageddon, with the original slew of people, and she got dragged because for no freaking reason. Okay. And she said, she's like, does this mean now that everyone is going to actually believe me the next time I speak up? Because it's been exhausting and deflating having to defend myself against so many trying to make me out to be a bully or a liar when I wasn't. Had to get that off my chest. Like, people, something Tati said, you have to respect people who have been in the industry like 20, 30, 40 years. You have to respect people who've paved the way for you, whether you agree with them or not. Like, for example, okay, like we were talking about Scott Barnes, because he was in one of Tati's videos. There's so many makeup artists, if I met them in person, I would bow down to them. Like, they are amazing, and they are people who have paved the way and made things possible for someone like me. You don't discredit that, because he walks all over. James Charles walks all over Kevin James Bennett, who is an older makeup artist, legendary, and he does talk a lot. He's a very blunt man. He talks about a lot of stuff, just how it is, and he is one that definitely has gone after James Charles for so long, and James never liked it, and he would like make fun of him like this old fart and like all this stuff, and I'm like, you have no idea who you're talking about, honey. Like, he was legendary before you were even born. So like so that's another thing.
Well, that's the whole thing. That's the whole issue that we have in rap that I can like relate on, where it's like you have all these like younger kids coming in and like, yo, I don't care about Tupac, I don't care about Jay-Z, I don't care about 50. Like, I don't like all these people that like have done so many things and are still doing great things. Like, Jay-Z's like one of the he's like 40. I think I just told you like earlier this week. And he's still putting out music, and everyone's still going to his concerts. Like, one of the first rappers to really, him and Eminem, to really be that old and still be doing their thing and not just like bow out and retire.
So, I mean, it's it's kind of like going to school, okay? You have to go to school. You have to learn what you have to learn so that you can move on to the next thing. Like, one, there's so much you can learn from these people that have been in the industry for so long.
Yep.
I mean, it's amazing. And two, just they've gotten the industry to where it is. Like, you can't, it's a huge thing. It's a respect thing. And
it's anything.
So I just,
yeah.
So there's that. And then, all right, on top of this, I'm going all over the place, but it was a lot. And I'm trying to get it in without taking up our entire episode because I've been talking 25 minutes about this now. Literally, this could be our entire episode, guys. It's crazy.
We good.
Anyways, so like I said, he was at over 16 million. Tati was at almost 5 million. As of today, which is Sunday, so we still got 2 more days to go. So we'll see what it's at. He has lost over 2 million and she has gained over 2 million. So it's going, back and forth, and it's great. It's very interesting. He is rapidly losing subscribers, which is crazy because Anyways, so also on top of that, he is someone who had a lot of celebrity followers. Yeah. Yes, YouTubers, big YouTubers, but actual celebrities were following him who are now unfollowing him, such as Iggy. We got Kylie Jenner, Shawn Mendes, Kim Kardashian, Miley Cyrus, Ariana Grande, Katy Perry, Halsey, Demi Lovato. So those are like major celebrities that have chosen to unfollow him. On top of like the YouTubers, one I thought was interesting was Antonio Garza, who is like a couple years younger even than him. And this person actually got a start from like being on James's channel. It's a very interesting dynamic.
That's a smart move.
I saw like this person. It's very interesting that they unfollow, and I'm like, wow, because it's a confusing time, right? Because it's like if you kind of started to make it from this person, but now this person is like becoming a person you don't know. Like it's a tricky.
It comes down to your business and your brand. Like it's nothing against you. That's why these celebrities are disconnecting from them, because it's like they're trying to keep their brand like alive, like being connected to someone, like with anything, a sexual assault case, anything, whatever negativity you have, I don't want it over here. Let me cut ties for the moment.
Right, and it's like people like celebrities. Let's be real, like they ain't got no time for that.
Yeah,
they don't care. Like I don't blame him for cutting ties. Then we have his original sister squad, which was interesting. Emma Chamberlain, Grayson Dolan, and Ethan Dolan, who were like the squad.
Oh, the Dolan twins. Okay,
yeah,
so like that sounds familiar.
They were always together. They were always doing videos. They were like they were it, and they're just done. Obviously, Jeffree Star and his boyfriend Gabby Hanna. Just everybody. It's a shit show. So everyone's unfollowing, unsubscribing, switching. It's crazy. If you want a good laugh in all of this craziness, go to Twitter and just like search it, and the amount of memes and GIFs that have been made from this, it's kind of hilarious. I'm not trying to make light of the serious topics, but just seeing kind of how this is going down.
Last thing to mention, because we're like close to 30 deep into this. His apology video was trash. Like
trash. 8 minutes long compared to 43.
Yeah, he's sitting here like he'll say a couple things and he's like,
it was half breathing.
I'm like, what are you doing?
And he was forcing himself to cry. It wasn't real.
Yeah. Oh man, someone made a video. It was like a minute and a half. It was like James Charles just apology video, just breathing.
Yes.
Like, what are you?
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. His apology can't touch what she did. There's no way he will ever make up for this or make a good authentic, because first of all, he can't make an authentic apology because he's a narcissist. Yeah. Second of all, the way, again, if you really are curious, I know it's a long video, but if you watch her video, again, you could relate to it just on a personal level because you don't even need to know what's going on, because the way she lays it out is so factual and calm. She's not mad. She is, but she's not like in an angry fit.
Oh yeah, it was great. Like,
she's just chill, like, this is what's happening. This is why I'm done.
Yep.
And you can't even argue why. You can't argue with her why that doesn't make sense or why you're done. Like, she just made complete sense. Like, and I'm like,
yeah, it was
intense.
If you are interested, I do suggest checking out Tati's video. It's interesting.
Only Tati's. Don't give James any views.
I mean, James, it's pointless to watch.
Breathing.
Yeah, I'm like, I watched probably for like a minute or two, and then
I watched the whole 8, and it was completely useless.
No, I'm like, I could use the rest of the 6 minutes here. Like, you're sitting here saying, I'm sorry, she's an amazing I'm like, shut up, I gotta go.
I'm dying.
Like, he's saying all these things, and I'm just like, I know you're just faking it. Like, yo, yeah. So I was done with it.
So my thoughts on this, she's gonna be a lot better off. I see, this is where I don't know how to feel about Jeffrey, because now she's still friends with Jeffrey. Jeffrey was over here. Clearly Jeffrey and James are not, because Jeffrey removed him from Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff.
Yep.
And he like did a dig right as Tati hit the first 5 million or the 6 million.
Yeah.
He shouted it out on Twitter, like, as this is all going down. Then when she went up another million, he's like, oops, just kidding, happy 7 million. Like, so he's on her camp. My only thing is, I don't know with him. I don't know how to feel about him, because one part of me wants to believe that maybe he's not as bad, because he does seem to be authentic with some people who are just not crap people. But at the other time, he does seem like one of those people that if just the slightest thing goes wrong, you're screwed. Yeah. You're monumentally screwed. So for her, I don't know how that'll work out. But, she's going to be a lot better off with James, or without James, Charles, not her husband. And, I mean, hey, things are looking up for her. Let it ride out. Let it do what it has to do, and don't look back. That's my advice. So,
okay.
Dang, I was like all up in this. I'm still tracking the subscriber counts. Like, it's a thing, guys.
So we're gonna move away from this.
Thanks
recap.
for listening to my rant. It was a hot topic that we had to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, it was just interesting.
It's a hot topic.
It was an interesting topic.
Literally, E! News like posted about it that day.
Man, they're all for the
That's
tea.
huge. Like, no, but
tea.
E! News doesn't really post about YouTubers. So for that to happen, like, this was big.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So next, I want to hop into this Ayesha Curry.
All right, I'll try to be as excited
from the Red Table Talk. If you're not familiar, I'm going to start off by playing this clip that came out from the Red Table Talk when they first shot this last week. So check this out here, and then we'll get into it, because I think we had an issue. I think we weren't agreeing at first. And I was like, yo, we got to save this for the podcast. Here we go. I'm playing it straight from my phone so you guys can hear this. If it can play.
It bothers me, and like honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity, is the fact that there are all these women like throwing themselves, but me, like the past 10 years, like I don't have any of that. Like I have zero, this sounds weird, but like male attention. And so then I begin to internalize it, and I'm like, is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
What? Because I don't want it, but it'd be nice to know that like someone's looking.
But
that
when your radar's turned, you know what? I do understand what
So
that was just a clip.
What's your take on it?
Oh, we're gonna get into it. So that clip, pretty much summarizing it, where they were talking about how Steph Curry. It was the table talk was with the whole Curry family. It's so weird to say, because it's just a bunch of spices.
Oh my god!
But so the first half of this, which I didn't play, was saying, how do you deal, with your husband being in the limelight, having all these girls on him, all this stuff, and she was saying how like he's very nice, he's very like talkative, like he wants to. If someone approaches him, he's gonna be polite, and it is what it's not on like some flirty thing or anything like that, because he's not that person. He's nice. Like she was even saying how like she's only seen him like get mad once since they've been together, and I'm like, okay, that is crazy.
Where at though?
And then so she further goes on to talk about her kind of wanting that same attention that he gets, and how she feels like she gets zero male attention. And my thought is on this is that's not the case. Like, I don't feel like she gets zero male attention. I feel like there's certain women in this world that you just look at and it's like you're attracted to them, you're interested in them, but like they're taken. It's this person's wife, and they're off limits.
Yeah,
I can name a handful of people I can think off the top of my head. Gabrielle Union, I think she's with Kevin Durant. Kill me if I'm. Well, don't kill me if I'm not correct.
That was intense.
Like, I wouldn't say anything bad about her, but like she's super attractive, but all that stuff. But it's like she probably doesn't get that because guys probably feel the same.
Go on. Who's the other handful of women?
Who else? Jada. She feels like I'm like, yo, what?
Go on.
What?
Who else is so?
I mean,
attractive?
Ayesha, you could probably put in that.
Who else? Go on.
I feel like
Tell
a
me
little.
Who you're drooling over?
I mean, I'm not drooling over these people. I'm just saying,
that's right.
saying, shut up. I'm saying these people get like zero, like that I feel like get zero attention. Like you could kind of put Chrissy Teigen in this, but you kind of can't because she's a model and she's.
It's funny.
That.
Well, with Chrissy Teigen, everyone looks at how funny she is. Like they love her Twitter and how she is. They look at that more than I think her looks. But men are also different because I think they still look at her looks.
Well, Ayesha's not. She's not ugly.
No, but you know what I'm saying with Chrissy. Everyone always talks about how funny she is. That's like what you kind of hear most of.
But that's the thing. Like, and also I feel like when you're in a marriage and like you're married to a celebrity, because we're regular people, so we're not popping like they're popping.
Right.
It's like, yeah, one of you are sadly gonna take that back seat. Like, yeah. For example, Kanye and Kim, they went to the Met Gala recently. Kanye was dressing weird, and Kim was dressing like she fit the role. Like all eyes were on Kim. She had a nice dress, whatever, and like limelight was on her. Like, and supposedly what happened with that one, Kanye was like, I'm just gonna dress regular, and like, this is my wife. I heard that.
I heard that, and I thought that was actually adorable. At first, when I saw Kanye dressed like a slob, I was like, come on, like you have to like be a couple because everyone else is like doing couple outfits and like that's what you do. But then when he said that, I was like, okay, that's kind of cute though.
But see, that's my thing where it's like nothing against Ayesha, but like it's a respect thing. I feel like guys give her more respect where like they want to give that to Kim. Whatever girls kind of put themselves out there as that like I don't know, like sexual image they put out where guys are like, nah, I'm not giving her that respect. She's just an object or whatever.
But Steve Curry isn't like he's in a sexual image either. He's not like Kim Kardashian.
Money will make anyone sexy.
So then why isn't it the same for her is my question. You're basically saying she's not Kim Kardashian. So that's why.
Ayesha's not holding all that much money. What is Ayesha really doing? No offense to her.
I don't know really much about these people.
I know she's doing her
all.
little thing. Like she has her own cooking thing, which I'm not sure if it's really her cooking or if she has like a cookbook or whatever the case is.
I have no idea.
But like she's not like Kim is brings in the money along with Kanye. But like these are like there's certain people that like
Kim makes more.
And see how someone handles that. Jay-Z and Beyonce, who makes more out of that? My assumption is Beyonce. Mm-hmm. But you don't see Jay-Z sitting here complaining. But that's what I'm saying. You don't see Jay-Z sitting here complaining. Like,
I mean, who's going to complain with all that money?
The next thing is, you're saying Steph's not attractive. Jay-Z was just saying in his past album, he's like, I'm not like something like, I'm not an ugly billionaire. I'm cute. Like, yo, money doesn't mean like you got money.
I'm not saying they're ugly. I'm saying they're not like the pinnacle of what people are like, whoa, attractive.
Dog, do you know who Rick Ross is?
Yes.
I had to ask because of course you want to know this.
You know what?
Women would have sex with him because he has money.
Yeah. Okay. Not all women. Not me.
Not you, but I can say probably a good.
In his mind, he's like, good.
Whatever. Like what?
Okay, fine then. I just might.
I mean, if that's the case, then peace. Like, I don't care. I don't care what you do. Like,
But I'll get us the money.
I don't want you after you do that.
No, but for the money.
Yo, no. Yeah, get that guy out of here.
Here's $1 million. It'll make you feel better.
That's my thing. Like, she's sitting here saying she gets zero male attention. She gets the attention, but we respect you enough to not treat you like an object because, yo, this is Steph's wife. It's like when I take you out with me and my friends, they better not look at you any type of way like that. It's like, no, she's just a homie. That's it.
That's it. What if like my cleavage is out and stuff?
I catch anyone looking, they're gonna punch in the face. That's it. That's it.
Because I can still dress like a woman around the boys.
But that's it. Like if I'm let's say I'm out with one of my friends and they have their girlfriend with them. Like I'm not looking at her anyway. If some stranger does something crazy to her, like I'm there to support in case. Like I don't know if that makes any sense where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Go ahead. Take it away because we had some issue with this, and I'm like, what's the issue?
Here's the thing. Here's the tea. Here's the motherfucking tea.
Yo, get into it.
That's a Twitter reference. Okay. Anyways, so famous or not, everybody likes to have attention and likes to feel like they're sexy or important or whatever. So you'll find this even with average people who are in relationships or whatever, or not. They could be single, whatever.
Yep. is you kind of get a little ego boost if you see like someone looking at you a certain way, or if like you know, you're just feeling yourself and someone recognizes it or something. Like, that's just kind of human nature. So there's that. On top of the fact, a good point is we don't know what's going on in their relationship. What if he's like super lacking on giving her attention? And so, again, human nature kicks in and is like, well, this ain't right. Why is he getting all the attention and I just want some, but my own man won't give me attention? That's not the case.
So,
and here I go. I'm running through Ayesha's Instagram, trying to find some picture, like maybe she's in a swimsuit or some nice dress, something, to see what the comments are. Not from like a week ago, but I'm trying to see, like, let's see what like, you can't tell me that she's not getting DMs.
I'm not saying no, I don't believe that she's not getting anything. I don't, but he seems to be in the pair. He seems to be the more like what would you call it? Like more popular one, more out there. So of course he's gonna get more.
Duh. He makes the money out of the group. No offense to her. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, here's a minor one that I felt like. No, this is from freaking recently. God damn. Hold on. I'm trying to find one. I'll find something to prove my point.
It's human nature. She's not in the wrong for saying. I feel like I saw people going in on her, like that she was an awful person for having these thoughts. It's human nature. Everyone likes to be like oogled once in a while, or like appreciated physically, or whatever it is. Like, everyone has that where they're like, yeah, like, recognize how I'm wearing this outfit. Like, you know, guys do it too, and don't even tell me they don't. Everybody does that.
Women want it way more than guys.
Sure, they want it more, but I do believe guys are the same. Where they're like, yeah, like, I just came from the gym and I am feeling myself.
But I don't go around dressing up just to have girls like looking at me.
No, it's not even just about dressing up. You could just want to be noticed. You could, like, it's literally. It's just simple.
I don't think guys are holding it to that standard that women hold it.
No, I don't think so either.
I've never seen a guy.
It's there though.
But I've never seen a guy go like anywhere to like.
Tell me guys don't get ego boosts when a pretty girl like comments on how he looks, or like says something. A girl normally isn't
commenting. Like, a stranger is normally not commenting on how the other guy looks.
You don't know.
I said normally. I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Better not be.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but normally that doesn't, like, you don't see that. Like, if we're friends, you're probably gonna comment me saying, "Hey, you look nice," or "You smell good," or whatever. Like, if we're friends, but a stranger girl coming up, unless we're going to like a club type of setting or like one of those popping events, it's not happening. Nah, it's not. I skimmed through some of her Instagram things. I couldn't find anything, but that's besides the point.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, the way they're going in on her is not fair.
I don't think it's right that...
It's human nature. She didn't say anything wrong. She didn't say she's cheating or wants another man or whatever. She just wants simple attention.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it, so I don't understand that part about going in on her.
Yeah, people are crazy.
But my thing is more so like I get it sometimes, but you're playing second fiddle. Like, no, there's no offense to her. I'm not trying to put anyone down when I say this. Like, but... there's nothing. There's like, it's like the Jay-Z and Beyonce thing. Like, Jay's not offended by Beyonce being the one that's everyone wants to have a picture with whenever they go out or something, or Kanye and Kim. Like, Kanye knows he has to stay back because this is my wife. She's the more important person out of this. Like, let her get her shine. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like you have to play second fiddle to this, and. It's not. I don't think Steph and her have a bad relationship because it really sounds like they're dope. Yeah, of course you have hiccups in your relationship. Cool, but I don't think it's an issue with them and she's not getting that like, hey, you look nice or whatever. Because it doesn't sound like the case where she's just looking for like, they're like, hey, I still got it. Like, I have these kids.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And that's fine. But it's just like...
That's all I have to say is there's nothing wrong with it and people need to shut up. Like, get on with it. Talk about real problems.
Oh, no.
That's my thing is people are making it a big thing for absolutely nothing.
I'm like 50.
That's it.
50 on that. I'm like
That's it. Done.
I'm so 50-50 on it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, yeah. I hope we're for the best for her. I don't know. And Steph came out and he was like, I don't even know what he said. He was cool with it. Like, there was no
all right.
deal. All right, so I'm gonna hop into this shout out here. So I want to shout out Angelica from A Little Bit of Everything.
Hi.
She left us a voice message on Anchor. Feel free to leave voice messages. This will probably be a thing we do. Just shout you guys out on the podcast here.
We're getting the love. We appreciate it.
Real quick here, we're gonna get into this.
Hey, Paging the Simpsons. It's Angelica from A Little Bit of Everything with Me podcast. I just want to say your podcast is amazing. I try to make it an effort to listen to you guys
Thanks.
throughout the week. And I just want to say and mention, I do agree with you in a way where you post something about your business, you get like 2-3 likes if you're lucky, and then all of a sudden you post something about your personal life and it gets like 1,000 likes, which is pretty ridiculous. But yeah, it's nice that they recognize that. But at the end of the day, they don't support your business and the fact that it actually brings you money. And I don't know what it takes to give you a referral. But I feel like Facebook should have focused more on business tools. Like, what else can we do? Like, if my ad's going to go out there, why don't we just network with other people and direct it to certain people? I know I have 10 seconds left, but I do want to say, if you guys need a guest on your show, I'm happy to hop on. And you know what? Let's talk about a little bit of everything. Bye for now.
Woohoo!
So I just want to give Angelica a quick shout out. Thanks for leaving that voice message.
Thank you for listening.
I think we'll be down to, in the near future, do something like a cool podcast collab. I'm down for it.
That'd be cool.
And this was, if you're not familiar regarding her voice message there, we were talking on our last podcast Tuesday that we did about Facebook and the whole privacy thing, and then how you make one post and like everyone supports you when it comes to your personal stuff, but you have your own business you're trying to push. No one's like, I don't know if I want to like that or not.
Literally, I'll get 100 likes on our engagement session, but 3 likes on a business post, and I'm like, cool.
Yeah, so that's what she was referring to. Shout out to Angelica once again. Thanks for the support, as always. Now, since we have a pretty lengthy podcast, I probably want to get into like 1 or 2 of these like relationship advice. As always, I love these. So much.
Let's get into it.
This one I feel like.
Jeez.
What? It's pretty long, and they didn't paragraph this. So like, if there's mess ups,
at reading these.
Do you want to read them?
Nah, I'm good.
Oh, come on.
That takes way too much brain work.
All right, so let's get into this here. So this person starts off by saying, "Fiance isn't sure she wants to be with me." About a year ago, I proposed to my girlfriend on the day we moved into our new house we purchased together. Since we started dating, we have been what everyone calls a power couple. We have always gotten along and never really get into any arguments. We are still pretty young. He goes on to saying that he is 22 and she is 23. Something has been off about her for about the last month, as if she hadn't really been trying in our relationship or around the house. I kept trying to talk to her about it to make sure she was okay. We are very good about talking about whatever needs to be talked about. She eventually caved about a week ago and told me that an employee at her work has been continually flirting with her and that she has come to like it. She even told me that she thinks she has developed feelings for him. This hit me harder in my gut than I've ever thought possible. We had a long discussion over the 2 days about the whole thing, and while she still says she loves me, as she walks out the door, I can't help but feel as though she's going to work and developing another relationship with this man. No. The fact that she has admitted to liking his compliments and such isn't what bothers me, though. I am bothered by her willingness to explore other options when we are engaged to be married. And like I said, up until this point, we had a near perfect relationship. It is just so hard to deal with, and I don't know what to do. I am just as surprised to wait for days, weeks, or months until she comes to a decision. Oh, he says, am I just supposed to? Sorry. Am I just supposed to wait for days, weeks, and months until we come to a decision? We bought an effing house together and have a bright future. There are billions of girls who would give up all they had to be in her shoes right now, and it just seems like she might want to throw it all away. To make matters worse, the guy is becoming a manager at her work, and he puts in parentheses, she currently is one. After he becomes one, they would be free to hang out outside of work or date. Again, in parentheses, he says, managers can't hang out with employees, but they can hang out with managers. As long
That's
as
weird.
It makes sense for corporate rules.
That's worse.
As long as she stays at that job, they are going to be closing late nights together, and I know he's never going to stop coming on to her. I'm sure he's already asked her out on dates. It's only a matter of time until she accepts an invitation. I don't know what to do anymore. And we have a video problem as always. Hold up. If you're watching on YouTube, we are killing the vibes here.
It was just like 45 seconds.
Give me a quick second, guys. We're going to have a quick pause. All right. We are back. Sorry for that issue. I just want to make sure the YouTube fam is all good with the video if you're watching on YouTube. So what are your thoughts on that? Because I feel like that. So the guy's 22, she's 23. I thought it was really close to our age. We currently do have a house.
Well, no, that's what's kind of funny is we got this condo. We were the same ages. You were almost 23 and I was 23.
Yeah.
I had just turned 23 and you were about to. So we were literally the same ages. I'm kind of curious. Well, did they say how long they were together? I know they said a year ago they got proposed or they got engaged, but I don't know how long they've been together. It's very interesting when he said, "Oh, we've had a perfect relationship besides this." I wonder. Clearly, she's not seeing it that way. There's probably something lacking. Like they may have a good relationship where they can talk and where they're not fighting like crazy, but I feel like maybe there's not the spark there that she wants or like something, or maybe she's just grown not as attracted to him or something's happened where she's opening herself up to be vulnerable to someone else like that. Like so it's very interesting because there's two people in a relationship. And typically those two people don't feel the exact same way at the same time or like want the exact same things or like it's not completely perfect in unison all the time. Yeah. So like there's a disconnect I feel like here where he's like, I'm super happy, but clearly something happened where she's not, or she's needing to get something somewhere else. Because if you're truly that, like, super happy head over heels, like your relationship's perfect, you don't need to look elsewhere.
All right, so I'm going to give you another spin here. We're different than a lot of people. Where I feel like a lot of people aren't, no offense, a lot of people around our age at that time aren't as mature as we were. So them being together for however long doesn't sound like the
True. It sounds like it could also be the situation where if they were to say they were together since high school or something, and she just wants to like experiment. She just wants to try something new. She doesn't want to just be with this one person forever and ever yet. You know, maybe it's dawned on her that they're going to be married and she's going to be quote unquote trapped.
Dog,
so that
don't say yes. No, I have a problem with that.
Here's my thing. She might have said yes because in the moment she was cool with it. As time has gone on, she may have thought about it and been like, crap, like I'm really not ready for this.
Then tell me that. I don't want to get married to someone
which I understand. I agree with too. I don't agree with cheating, but I'm thinking that's maybe somewhere along the thought process there. As far as this whole you can date managers or whatever, I think that's ridiculous. A manager is higher up. That should be worse. Okay. If a manager is managing you,
you're not understanding this. An employee cannot go out with a manager. But this guy is going to be a manager, and she is currently a manager. So that means managers can go out because there's nothing against it.
Oh, they're two managers. Yes. Okay, never mind. I thought it, yeah, okay. Yeah, I feel bad because it was cute, like how he was explaining it, and like they got engaged when they got the place, and like the whole nine, and like, oh, so they got the place then before us because they were engaged a year.
Sure.
Wow, so they even got it before we did.
They're not.
They're very young. I don't think they're on the same wavelength. I think there's disconnect here, and even though they're good at communicating, it may just be a kind of disconnect where she just wants to explore and she's not ready to settle down, and it stinks that she's not able to just come out and say that. But it may end up being that where then they have to go their separate ways.
I would much rather you come out and say that. Like if we're going with this guy saying that they're really good at communicating about whatever the thing is, it's like, yo, tell me what it is. Like
right. Well, some things are harder than others to say.
I would much rather you to tell me that, yo, I don't find you attractive, or you're not giving me what I need, and we gotta cut this off. Like I would much rather you do that than for us to further be in this place longer,
and you find out about that.
Yeah, you not be happy. You cheat on me because someone else is flirting with you, and you find them more attractive, or whatever the case is. I'm like, yo, what's the point? Like, I'm not.
I'm sorry, but when she's like, oh, I'm developing feelings for this person. Okay, bye. Like, I feel like that's the point where you're like, all right, well, cool. Can't do anything, I guess, because he's all like waiting around to see if she doesn't. Yeah, but meanwhile, she keeps going to work with this person and can potentially date this person and like.
No, I like to say what he said he can't wait like days, weeks, months until she makes a decision.
Right. So he's all over here
he's
like
trying to figure out what should he do.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and I'm like, it's pretty clear.
Okay, but
it stinks. I understand it's complicated. I understand because with a house and everything, it is not. You know. It's not easy peasy. Like.
What? I'm just saying.
Yeah, you know. Like, listen.
Like, yeah, like he could just be like, yo, I'm packing my bags, I'm out. Like, nah.
Right. Like, I get it's not that easy, but I feel like he knows what he needs to do, but he doesn't want to acknowledge it. He doesn't want to come to that term. It's hard. It's hard, especially if you've been together years and it was your first like serious relationship, or it was like, you know, and long term or whatever.
And he goes on to say like, yeah, I don't know, it's tough because he says like they had like a narrowly perfect relationship. I feel like it's tough without hearing her side of it.
Yeah,
because you're hearing one side where it's this person that's like, she's probably giving off the facade like everything is good, but like she's not actually communicating what she needs, and that's becoming the issue to where he's like, yo, everything is great because she's not telling me anything that's wrong. She's not showing any signs. This is
right.
Everything's peachy.
Right. Oh, you have to be careful when women are silent or when they don't bring anything up because stuff happens.
No, we're not putting that on the guy because if you're walking around like everything's cool, you're not showing me that like you don't Like, there's certain signs you
well,
get from
true.
someone.
You also, yeah.
It's like, what do you... if I keep asking you what's up, and you don't tell me, it's like, what am I going to do?
Right.
Like,
Right.
if you act like things are normal, I'm going to just think things are normal. So that's where it's like, this is messing me up. And yeah, it sucks. He's going to have to come to that decision because it's like, if I can lose you so easy to someone just flirting with you and you can't tell someone to back off.
Do I really want to marry you?
That's my problem. Like...
Because clearly you're not taking it serious enough now that we are leading to marriage.
Exactly.
And this is not the kind of situation that it sounds like that we're trying to open up the relationship. It just sounds like you're trying to get out.
Exactly.
I don't think she's going about the best way, but...
And this is my, like, thing where I feel like marriage is pushed so heavily, but I don't think some people are ready for this. Like I'm not sure.
A lot of people aren't. That's why a lot of people get divorced.
And I'm not sure whose idea it was to propose, whether it was the guy being like, oh, we're great together, we should propose, or if she pushed him onto it, whatever the case is. And it's just like,
I mean, he sounds like the kind of guy that probably just wanted to. Because it sounds like he was in la-di-da land, like, oh, we're great together. We're clearly going to be serious, and we're going towards a house, and we're going to do this. Like, we're in it. Because even you and I, okay, like... When we bought this place, it was with the intention that this is like for the long haul. So we did it, it's almost like this was kind of the marriage. Yeah. Is like, we're like, okay, because we didn't rent, we bought it. So it's like, that's a big commitment. It's not super easy to get out of. So like, we had the intention. So then you and I, it was like, okay, clearly somewhere down the line, we're going to get married. Like, it was just kind of like, that's what's going to happen. So I feel like that's maybe he was just thinking, okay, we're getting a house and we're just continuing and we're going forward.
I feel bad for this guy. He sounds like one of those like gullible guys that are just like, yo, everything's great.
He sounds cute. He sounds like he just wants a nice relationship.
And he's right. Like, any girl would want that. Like, any girl that's like, yo.
To be right. But
you don't know.
To be fair, we don't know how he is. Like, it could be... There's something missing here that led her to
I'm going to tell you straight up,
feelings.
If you ever do this to me, I'm taking the dog and we're out. We're done.
You are never taking Missy.
Get your flirty butt out of here.
Not happening. Missy will come flirt with me.
All I got to be is like treats. Guess what I got? I got apples, carrots, bananas, all that stuff.
Same. And I'll have the new boy do it too. Ooh. All right, I think we're not going to have a podcast anymore, guys.
You're going to see me on a true crime. Did not get... I'm trying to think of like a funny punny line here.
Totally just ruined that.
Did not get away with that murder.
Okay, all right, moving on.
I think that's it. We're going to wrap it up on that one. It's been a long episode. A lot of tea spilled.
Rest in peace, James Charles.
A lot of stuff there. Yeah, I want to real quick get into this. If you guys have any voice messages, any questions, any podcast topics that we should touch on that we haven't touched on, you can leave us a voice message on Anchor. We'll gladly give you a shout out on the podcast. Hit us up on IG, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff.
Not Instagram, IG,
all that
guys.
stuff.
He's hip.
All that. Oh, I'm so hip. I'm hipper than James Charles right now.
I think everybody is.
Oh, man. So with that being said, guys, we're going to wrap it up. If you're listening on iTunes, please give us a rate and review.
Please. Whoa. We know you guys are listening.
Whoa.
Why?
Whoa.
We need them.
Relax.
Rate us.
Like a little act over here.
Love us.
All right, dog. I don't think anyone wants you to sit there and whisper in the air like you freaking weirdo. All right, chill. All right, so with that being said, guys, I'm Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons.
He's coasting.
I am joined by my lovely fiance.
The coastin' with the mostin', Lauren.
And we'll catch you guys this Friday.
Bye.
Peace.